Wake up call, wake up call, wake up call. Hello, Stephen Montemayor of the Minneapolis Star Tribune. Are you awake? The reason why I have to ask that is if I bet you quite a few people out there without me even having to reference it directly, when I say Minneapolis mail-in ballots, do I have to spell it out? Do most of you already know? Project Veritas last night published an explosive expose on a mail-in voting fraud in Minneapolis. Don't want to go into a lot of detail about it, but it's explosive. I'll have a link to it below. Now, you would think that a reporter for a Minneapolis, the major Minneapolis newspaper, the Minneapolis Star, would be aware of this. Well, apparently not. What happened is this morning, I went to the Minneapolis Star, thinking that they had to do some coverage of it. Well, not only did they not do any coverage of it, but they published an article by Stephen Montemayor, I hope I got his name right, that has to go down in the annals of journalism as perhaps one of the worst, most laughably timed articles in the history of journalism. So we're gonna review it in a moment, but the title of it is about mail-in voting disinformation, about how there's a lot of disinformation about the integrity of mail-in voting. Right, great timing there, Stefan. So now, and then also the most entertaining part of the article are the reader reactions. So we're gonna go to it right now. All right, so I went to the Minneapolis Star Tribune this morning, figuring they had to cover something about the huge expose in Project Veritas about the massive vote fraud, mail-in vote fraud in the Minneapolis area. Well, I didn't see that, but here, what I did see was, it has to be the most mistimed, the most poorly timed article in the history of journalism, right up there. It's got to be in the top 10. So here we are. Now it was written this morning, September 28th at 5:20 a.m. Last night was when the Project Veritas video hit. I think it's almost 1 million views already. And yet this reporter for the Star Tribune, Stephen Montemayor, seems totally clueless as to what was going on with that expose. But he had an article about how mail-in voting police protests create fertile grounds for disinformation in Minnesota. Oh, yes. If we question the integrity of mail-in voting, that's disinformation. So, so just remember the time here was 5:20 a.m. Now, really, he actually does not go into a hell of a lot of detail as to how it's disinformation. But I could really sum it up really quick, but we'll show a few parts of it. Here, let me just sum it up, give you a quick summary of his article. Russia, 2016, Russia. So, and that's pretty much it. Here, typical. A year later, U.S. intelligence analysts released reports saying the Russian government had sought to interfere in a 2016 presidential election using social media. Yeah, what? A few $1,000 on Facebook? Yeah, like oh yeah, I was going to vote for Hillary, but the $4,000 that the Russians spent on Facebook ads convinced me to vote for Trump instead. Right? That's how it happened to me. Subsequent law. Okay, so that's a Russia Kremlin. Here again, Russian meddling 2016. I'm going to have a link below to this article so you could see just how really, as far as actual evidence that there's disinformation about the integrity of mail-in voting in 2020, we definitely don't see any Project Veritas. I'd like to see how they counter. Well, I know how they're going to counter it. They're going to say he selectively edits. That's the usual thing. Selectively edits, even though James O'Keefe, the mighty O'Keefe of Project Veritas, he allows the journalists, anybody to look at. He provides the full unedited version. Anybody could look at it, but they're going to still say selective editing, right? So, yeah, see, again, here we go. In some ways, the run-up to the 2020 election is mirroring that of 2016. So it's Russia, 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 2016, virtually nothing. I really don't see anything about how I mean, proof that there's misinformation about questioning the integrity of 20, and especially, we got to see this. I mean, I'll do an update on it, but I'm going to be curious. I'm going to check back this afternoon, see if this guy, the reporter, Stefan Montemayor, if that's how correctly I'm pronouncing his name, if he does an update with regard to Project Veritas. Something actually he should have checked this, should have known about it this morning. I mean, this is hilarious. This is worst time article. And then here we got again Russia with Christopher Wray, who I hope is gone. Wray, I hope you're gone after Election Day. Anyway, FBI Director Christopher Wray has told Congress that Russia is still working to influence the election and wants to Democrat challenger Joe Biden. Yeah, Russia. But you know what? The most entertaining part of this article has to be the reader's comments, because even though Stefan Montemayor seems completely clueless as of 5:20 a.m. this morning about what's really going on there all around him with the big breaking story about Project Veritas, the readers are fully aware, and some of their comments are funny. So let's just look at a few of the reader comments. Here. Are actual facts in disinformation, like the fact that Ilhan's campaign is ballot harvesting? Yeah, here, I like this. Yes, let's pretend there wasn't a major video release last night showing massive election fraud in Omar's district. Voter fraud is 1,000 times more the problem in the 2020 election rather than foreign disinformation. But here's another comment. Really? How about Ilhan Omar's new Project Veritas video where the crime is on camera? Right, it's right on camera. But I can tell you right now, they're going to say it was selective editing, even though the unedited version is provided to them, including you, Mr. Stefan Montemayor. You could look at the unedited version. Oh, now here's a reader that it comes up when you question liberals. That means you're a Russian bot or a Russian troll. Here's a typical one. A liberal complaint. He says, we see the disinformation being spread on these comment boards by Russian trolls who post with a name and then disappear when challenged. I'd like to know how many Russian trolls the Star Tribune employees that monitor these comment boards find out and eliminate. Yeah, right. Are you going to say that James O'Keefe is a Russian troll or a Russian bot? Well, see you guys later, and especially we'll be seeing you later, Mr. Stefan Montemayor of the Minneapolis Star. So long.